Afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Fruits of Mother Nature, Melbourne. Just thought I'd do a quick video on this, what I reckon is a beautiful first day of summer. Humid, top of 31. Can't really complain with that. And I thought I'd do a quick coconut update just before the storm comes. So it has started raining, which is great. This humid weather is obviously because of the La Nina effect. We're going to get more humid weather, more rain, but of course with that rain it's obviously the heat, so coconuts will love those, and the vanilla vines will love those too. So anyways, we'll get straight to it, and I thought, as I mentioned today, I'll do a quick update on the coconuts and I'll show you how they're all coming along. Alright, coconut number 1, which I've moved in here. If you remember from my last video, this was getting sort of eaten alive by some critter. So I moved it to safety. It's protected by all these large elephant leaves and bamboo, and it's a bit more humid in this area too. So as you can see, these leaves got bitten, which sort of grinded my gears a bit, but that's alright. Not too much damage. If we have a look closer into the bottom there, got some new growth there, so see if I can move this guy around. Alright, this might be a bit of a better view. As you can see there, the new growth is doing fairly well. So it's not doing the best, but it's not dying either. So coconut number 1 out of 4, doing pretty well. Alrighty, coconut number 2. This one here, a bit of yellowing on the leaf. Again, not too bad. Sorry, probably similar to the other one. Again, not as much damage. A few brown leaves at the top there. All in all, still doing pretty well. The new growth pretty stagnant, like the other one that was there. So the other one, obviously, I couldn't get a really good quality picture on it. But as you can see, the growth on this one and coconut number 1 is pretty similar. Now these guys obviously not getting too much burnt leaves because they're in the shade. So making most of the humidity, most of the heat without the sun. Obviously these guys don't do so well apparently with the Melbourne sun, because of the dryness of the climate. So yeah. And that's the end result there of the tips. But as you can see, we haven't given up all hope just as yet, especially as we're coming into the growing season. You know, these guys, based on the weather that we've actually had, especially in the last couple of weeks, which was meant to be late spring, to me these guys have actually done pretty well, you know. So fingers crossed coming into summer, obviously the first day of summer today, and hopefully we see some of this growth expanding and growing through. Alright, moving on to coconut number 3. Okay, coconut number 3, probably doing the least best out of all of them. And now when I say the least best, it's because we haven't found the right location for it, I reckon. That's what I think it is, location. Because as you can see, the tips there, they're burning pretty badly. So I might have to move him back near where coconut number 2 and number 1 is, to avoid the sunburn that he's getting. Now in terms of new growth, I'm just going to turn this guy around. I haven't sort of planted any of my coconuts, guys. Those of you who know how to grow coconuts or who grow coconuts would know that most of their energy still comes from the nut itself. So because these are classified as seedlings, most of their energy is still coming from there. So we will eventually plant them in a coconut coir mix, bit of sand, but for now we're just going to keep them out. Now the new growth, again, not as big as the other 2 were. This one here is slightly smaller. So that's why I reckon this one here, probably the least progress out of all of the coconuts that I have. It's got good height to it. It's probably the tallest out of all of them, but I reckon that it's the tallest, but it's also become the one that's most acclimated to the humid temperatures from which they came from, so far north Queensland. But yeah, in the middle, still pretty green, just the tips. Alright. And finally, best for last, I reckon, coconut number 4. This by far is doing the best out of all of them. Don't know why, I don't know how, but it has just sort of adapted to Melbourne's temperatures so well that it's got no burning on the tips. It's fully green. It's been outdoors the same amount of time as the other ones have. And look at the middle. That growth is so good. It's just popping out, raring to go. There's that thunder. So yeah, that coconut number 4 is doing phenomenally. I never in my sort of growing time have I ever seen a coconut shooting out new growth, you know, potentially good new growth too, in a temperate climate. And I say temperate because the late spring temperatures have been nothing but miserable. Weather's been floating around 13 to 15 during the days. We get the occasional 25 degree temperature, and at night it's all below 10. So this guy is my protege, the one that's doing really well. So there you go, guys. That's the coconut update so far. We're going to keep you updated on these shorter videos on each individual tree, just so we can have a closer look at them, a bit more detailed, and we don't have those lengthy videos. We will still be doing full garden tours, but in order to have a closer look like this, and to really notice how they're doing individually, I want to start making these shorter videos. So hang in there. We'll be doing the mangoes and the papayas and maybe even the bananas. But you can hear the speedsters in the background. It's about to rain. There's a storm coming, and you always have 1 or 2 loose bananas. Thinking it's a great idea to do that in the rain. But anyways, yeah. So coconut number 4 is doing the best. We'll have another look at the other 2, just so you can do a quick comparison. Again, coconut number 3. Still figuring out where we're going to put him. I reckon he will probably go further into the shade of this loquat tree, just based on his growth. Oh, sorry, not his growth, based on his damage of his leaves. And his growth too, because he's obviously not shooting out that much growth there on the bottom. But yeah, coconut number 2 again. Must be doing okay here, as I mentioned. It's in the shade, blocked from the sun, not getting that harsh sunburn. And again, as you can see, new growth is coming out well. So I'll probably leave it for now, guys. The rain's starting to come down. We'll keep you guys updated on how these start growing. As I mentioned, we're popping them all in the shade again. They're not potted or anything like that, so they're all sort of loose, and I think we're going to keep it that way just for the meantime, until so that I don't get any root rot or anything like that, especially with all the rain that's coming along. But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update on how they're going, if you guys want to give it a shot. And obviously during the colder months, which is still pretty far away, we'll be popping them indoors or in a greenhouse. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to comment. I'd love to know what you guys think or how we can sort of manage those burnt leaves. When you have a look at all 4 of them. I'm getting mauled by mosquitoes now, so the humid weather obviously brings them out. So I'm gonna go now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, guys. And as I mentioned, comment, so we can share all our tips with each other. Alright, we'll leave it there for now. I'll catch you guys from the next video. Bye bye.